Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another One Piece chapter review. Chapter 1037, The Drunken Dragon Booga. I'm a bit late on this one because it was a break last week and it's coming close to the next chapter, so I figured I'd do it now. But before we begin, I'll just quickly discuss the cover of the One Piece, the cover story, which is Gemma 66, An Emotionless Excursion. Volume 2, Judge's Size, in which we see that Judge, and that's Sanji's family. Hold on. Jam 66. Let me just see if I just want to try and pronounce the name right. Sorry about this. Ichi and Reiji are live next to him and all that stuff. With Reiji sitting down and with her legs crossed and Ichi's sitting down with his sort of legs crossed and sort of like a lap thing we used to do in my primary schools, and if you will, the best way I can describe it. Apparently, it's about Judge sighing. Clearly, they've just escaped. And it seems that, and you see some damage to the castle. Clearly, they've come some casualties, and it makes some questions about what happened to Sanji's two other siblings. Yonji and Nichi. Sorry if I pronounced those names wrong. But anyway, to the actual chapter. We go back to the flower capital where it seems like the people are just partying and all that stuff, and it's just about, and the festival seems to be just about ending as everyone's getting excited about drinking. And with one of them, bad mouthing Orochi, but one of the other people says that silence. You don't know if one of Orochi's spy officials might be nearby listening and all that stuff. Everyone just comments about how it's reaching its end as they're preparing the sky lanterns, with a woman saying, let's see, now write your wishes to your ancestors, and them asking if they will make their dreams come true, which the woman replies, sure they will. And we see what some of them have put as I want to see their mother again. Some wants lots of water, and another wants food of children. Sort of the wishes that they all want to have while due to the fact that, under Orochi's rule, Orochi and Kaido's rule, those things have mostly been taken away. Though, granted, I'm pretty certain the boy that did not wants to see his mother probably might end up being dead and all that stuff, but who knows? And as they're doing that, we cut back to back to the Omegashima near the capital, where we're back to Luffy versus Kaido, where Kaido is starting to drink now and all that stuff. Well, granted, he explains he's having fun, and due to the fact that that we were supposed to drink as in the palace for the banquet, as well as the fire festival going on, but of course the Straw Hats ruined that. So, and apparently he does this when going out with someone, or going out when he's having fun in the fight. Anyway, we see him now getting drunk as he's laughing and crying, much to Luffy going so angry about how he's totally drunk, and goes on how he better not use this as an excuse to it's about why he lost and all that stuff, as Luffy ends up, sadly to my dismay, removing his cape. I like that cape, but oh well. As he's charging forward. No, Kaido goes on about how you really think if I would make myself drunk to make itself weaker. It says that he's accepted him as a strong opponent, even while saying it's all drunk. As he goes on how long it's been since he could truly go to toe with someone like this one-on-one. As Luffy is about to attack with a gear 3 attack, from what I can tell, because it's his giant gongs. Kaido begins to use a move called Drunken Dragon Bugan, or that's just the fighting style of when he's drunk, at least, using a move called Lightning Hammer, and then hitting Luffy as Luffy ends up missing his attack and all that stuff. Anyway, and the impact of this attack is felt so far that it's about in the performance floor inside the dome. They're wondering, like, you can hearing like huge cracks in the roof and all that stuff coming down and all that stuff. So it's clearly that's how much of an impact this attack has had to show how strong it is. And you can clearly tell how strong it is because Luffy's screaming in pain like, ah, it hurts, like he's been hit by his grandfather. Kaido comment now in his like dragon form. Let's see, comments about how fun this fight might be. It's going to take 5 years to repair the castle now and all that stuff. Let's see, and all that stuff. Let's see, as he comments about how miserable he is, they cannot, let's see, save one castle and that stuff. With Kaido going about how he had regrets to rebuild and all that stuff, but how it took 5 years to make in the first place, showing that his is drowning. Let's see, Kaido's now in his drunken sorrows mode, or drowning in his sorrows, as let's see, that's like one of the 5 stages of his drunkenness, I think. Anyway, let's see. Luffy then, I think, going like he was getting, wondering he was just getting it separately, as let's see, as Kaido says, he gave it everything he had and all that stuff. Though anyway, as Kaido says, it just wasn't meant to be, and then starts doing a move called Dragon Twister Demolition Guts as he spins around in his dragon form, ends up causing, I think, some sort of slashes during that Luffy. Well, then Kaido getting into his, what this Fizz describes as in his beers, though I think other translation called it his sad drunken form, and telling Luffy to just leave him alone. And then as he's crying, he's about to say, "This is what happens to people who don't take a hint." Using the Thunder Barrage attack, I think he used before, though. Luffy getting into, I believe, gear second, ends up jumping on top of his weapon and ends up kicking him in the face. And let's see, then it doesn't look like it does too much. I should probably mention Kaido's back in his hybrid dragon form, as Kaido uses his tail to grab Luffy, and then the two head each other, though granted it's clear to be a clash of Conqueror's Haki, as they're not actually touching each other. With Luffy commenting about how Kaido's Haki seems to be getting stronger as he's sent a bit flying. With Kaido complaining as just as he's finally gotten drunk. Let's see, he's gone and got him sobered up as Kaido's entered his drunken rage mode, firing a dragon beam, Luffy dodging, and then using, I believe, a rock move, and Kaido's using a Kundalini, as Luffy using Luffy's using the rock Gatling, and Kaido using Kundalini Dragon Swarm. Let's see, both punching and hitting each other multiple times. And they both land a blow on each other in the face. While doing so, as they keep pounding each other. And eventually Luffy ends up doing what's a gear third stomp on Kaido's chest. As we can see Kaido enjoying it and taking damage at the same time. Anyway, we cut to the sacred land of Mary Joan and the Red Line with like one of them commenting about how the revive simply been a curse been a disaster this year. With one of them to put it aside as the stuff happening in Wano right now is the main priority. As I cannot imagine that the battle would become so intense after this, as we see the 5 elders. Let's see if they're, and one of them commenting, if they strike now, we can have Nico Robin in their custody. And with one of them commenting, with Kaido and Big Mom involved in a fight, let's see, death could easily come for anyone, which makes it perfect for them to cover up and eliminate whoever they want for any inconveniences, showing that they're finally it's them that really wants Nico Robin taken out of the picture. Anyway, then we cut out to see near Wano, where we see the government ships and all that stuff, as they're all standing by. But one of the lookouts is commenting on a government official is commenting on about a huge shadow. And he's going like, one of them asking, what is it? With him saying he doesn't know, and it looks like an island. With one of the 5 elders saying that this would be impossible. That fruit is only a legend now, even to them, and is not apparently awakened for centuries upon centuries. with like the one of the others, I believe the youngest of the lot, the one that was talking was like the big mustache one before, and going on about how why the government would bother to give that one specific devil fruit another name, to erase the fruit's name from the annals of history, as we see Zhao, the giant elephant. Let's see, I think it's Zoe. On. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Yeah. Zoe's an island occurred over on the native. No, Zeni Shu. My mistake there. It's been a while since I've read the Zhao is the island on back of Zenitsu, the giant elephant, as he's clearly blocking their way, ending the chapter on a cliffhanger. Okay, first off, let's see. It looks like the Fire Festival is finally over and all that stuff, and everyone's about to shine up lanterns on the thing. It's kind of interesting how the wishes of what is probably going to end up happening true once the Straw Hats beat Kaido, and let's see, liberate Wano and all that stuff, and Momonosuke becomes Shogun again, because that's clearly what's going to happen here. It seems like they're finally, as all their wishes are going to come true, though granted. Let's see, they do not quite know yet that Onigashima is closing in by and they're nearly facing certain doom. So I wonder, as they're doing these lanterns, this is when they're all going to see the island coming in, Onigashima coming in, and they're like, oh no, we're all going to die, and all that stuff before being saved, or maybe even seeing Momonosuke in his dragon form. Who knows? But let's see, that'll be interesting. Though granted, it's interesting how some of them have gone so drunk that it's like them bad mouthing Orochi in public is like others like, no, don't. Otherwise, you don't know let's see if any of Orochi's officials are about, but it won't matter in the end because after Kaido and Orochi are taken out, they can badmouth them as much as they want. But anyway. The main highlight of this fight is pretty much Luffy versus Kaido, in which Kaido, now taking Luffy as a serious opponent, has gotten drunk to face him. And in many ways, this game makes me a bit nostalgic for part 1 of Naruto, in which Lee got the drunken fist moves against Kimimano, and it's like, it was such a fun thing to watch and all that stuff, to see Lee become such a total, lethal fighting machine. While drunk and all that stuff. And if it wasn't for the fact that he was probably fighting Kimimaro, probably would have beaten any other opponent besides maybe his sensei, since Kimimaro's indestructible bones and those bones attacks made him sober and all that stuff. But yeah, but as we see, it seems like, but who knows, with this, I'm pretty certain that's what probably most people are probably thinking of when they read this chapter, if they had like a history of watching the Big Three and all that stuff. Though who knows, perhaps Kaido could possibly surpass it in terms of popularity. And from what it looks like, I do like how Kaido seems to go through this different stages of drunkenness, like playful drunk, sorrowful drunk, sad drunk, angry drunk, as he's like fighting Luffy and all that stuff. Going through all the various stages, and as we've seen, the drunk state, as we can probably see, okay, this is probably why Kaido gets drunk so often, because this is when he's at his most his attacks are probably at his most dangerous, according to him, as it manages to not only hurt Luffy when it hits one of them, but also causes enough impact to felt like throughout the entire castle. Not like that has not happened before, but it seems like a lot more deadlier than before, except maybe when he's using Conqueror's Hockey, if you will. So, yeah, I'm not sure, but granted, of course, it's not a one-sided fight, as Luffy is able to counter quite a few of his attacks and even land a few blows. And they manage to hit each other, particularly towards the end, where they're both using one of their multiple attack strike forms and all that stuff. I definitely like the Dragon Twister, and Luffy using the Gon Gatland and all that stuff, and Kaido using his weapon and all that stuff. They're able to hit each other, but I like how Luffy's able to just jump on, hit them on, kick Kaido or in the face or even in the stomach, and you can clearly see that it does some damage to him, as well as he's also enjoying it at the same time. I do like how, let's see, also when apparently in his drunk form, his Conqueror's Haki gets stronger. As when Luffy and Kaido did the Conqueror's Headbutt, Luffy was pushed back a bit, showing that Kaido's is still slightly a bit stronger, but Luffy still has a way of going to catch up. But no doubt Luffy will probably end up winning this fight and all that. But anyway, the biggest mystery at the end of the chapter is with the Gorosei and the world government, let's see, commenting as they leave more hint about, okay, the Leveille has been a disaster because of apparently the murder there, and it's something that's happened in Sabo, and unfortunately they weren't able to cover it up because Big News Morgans, let's see, ended up publishing everything that was said, though granted, who knows how much he stretched the truth on certain things, but either way, the world at least has some idea what's going on, and they couldn't cover it up, and now they have to try and deal with this situation as possible, but right now, they're focusing on, let's see, Wano particularly, let's see, trying to make sure that Nico Robin at least, let's see, gets taken out and all that stuff. As let's see, as their ships come closer. However, it seems that we finally figured out. Let's see, a million people wondering. Okay, the world government, and these are world government ships, no Marines or anything, because like world governments are more of the public face of the military for the world government. But of course, the Cyberpol are more the behind the scenes kind of lot. However, it's interesting how we find out in this chapter that probably what's going to stop them from taking over Wano, or what bringing most of their forces there to back the CP0, or maybe even keep Rob Lucci at bay, is the giant elephant Zenitsu and all that stuff, as he's blocking their path, and it looks like he's going to try and prevent them from coming into Wano and all that stuff, and possibly taking out those ships. Who knows? So I'm pretty certain we have not seen the end of Rob Lucci, but clearly Oda keeps bringing him back and clearly has something planned for him. I'm not sure if that means a rematch with Straw Hat or with just someone else, but we'll have to wait and see. But interestingly enough, let's see, the biggest question with the chapter is the mystery of what the Gorosei are talking about this devil fruit, about how it's a legend and it's only to even them, and it has not awakened upon centuries. While another is like, why would the world government bother to exist to give one devil fruit a different name than what it is, and all that stuff? And it's getting many people to, let's see, as they try to erase that fruit's name from the annals of history. So there's a devil. They're talking about a devil fruit that, let's see, that has another name that most of the public knows, if they do know about devil fruits, because you know how rare devil fruits are to the public, particularly like those in East Blue. But apparently it's got another name, and let's see, it's something that terrifies the world government, though granted, we have no idea what that devil fruit is, though from the way the chapters pan out, it might actually be the giant elephant Zenitsu, implying that it's actually this island is perhaps some mythical fruit thing, though who knows, it's still up to speculation. Some are wondering if it might actually be Luffy's Gom Gom fruit, given the whole thing with Who's Who a few chapters back. But either way, it's getting a lot of people speculating and guessing what is going to happen and when we're going to get answers to this chapter. But I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon and all that stuff. Let's see. So that would be interesting to see. But anyway, overall, I think I'll give this chapter a 9 out of 10. Let's see. It was, for most part, a Luffy versus Kaido centered fight, but a nice little bit with reminder of the citizens of Wano in the beginning. You see, with their showing that the Fire Festival is now finally over, starting to end, and they're doing the lantern bits, which probably means that they're going to end up seeing what's going to happen on Onigashima pretty soon, and their wishes, which are probably going to come true once, Luffy, beats Kaido, because that's what they deep down probably want and all that stuff. Let's see. Once Kaido and Orochi are gone, well, we got to see Kaido in a drunken fist kind of. Drunken fist mode, if you will. Let's see, though, granted, what it's actually called is the Drunken Dragon Bugar, but I guess that's same thing technically. And let's see, and the world government, let's see, the return of the Gorosei and their plans, when they took discussions about what to do with Nico Robin, as well as, let's see, for Wano, and it talks about a mysterious fruit, and it looks like, and the return of Shinichi, the elephant from Wano, and all that stuff. And it looks like we have our answers to let's see how the world government is probably not going to be able to take over Wano because it's going to get in the way. Overall, a very good chapter, and I look forward to the one that's going to come out in a few days, officially at least. I'm Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you for everyone for joining me, and goodbye.